Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. The Minister of Transport and Communications announces that the biggest railway maintenance station in the Sultanate will be in the Governorate of Lahira. The Minister of Commerce and Industry unveils details of His Majesty's Cup for Best 5 Factories. And the first and second phases of 3-kilometer water line is launched in Sohar Industrial Estate. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Dr. Islam Karimov of Uzbekistan in reply to His Majesty's cable of greeting on his country's independence anniversary. The Minister of Transport and Communications announced at a meeting today that the biggest railway maintenance station in the Sultanate will be in the Governorate of Lahira. The meeting was meant to introduce the Ministry's current and future projects in the Governorate. They unveiled that Abri Circular Road will be the most prominent coming projects in the Wilayat of Abri, which is still being studied. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Fitaisi, Minister of Transport and Communications, attended the meeting. He said it is necessary for people to know that establishing a road is based on a strategic study set by an international institution, and the Ministry follows it. A workshop and launching of the Code of Practice for Infection Prevention and Control under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, was held this morning. More details in the following reports by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
Infection prevention and control occupies a crucial role in healthcare system as it maintains the standards of quality and safety of all healthcare facilities. It is particularly important to have high awareness about the severity of the healthcare associated infection occurrence in both patients and healthcare workers. Thus, the Minister of Health has recognized the situation and taken the initiative to promote standards of quality and safety of healthcare facilities, and as a result, a Code of Practice for Infection Prevention and Control Services had been launched. On this occasion, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, said,
"We are here today for the launching of the Code of Practice for Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases. This workshop is attended by all the Director General and the CEO, that is the executives of the hospitals. Infection spread within the institutions of healthcare is a major problem worldwide. The statistics from countries where they have a very accurate statistics, like the States, there are about 722,000 cases of hospital-acquired infection annually, with 72,000 deaths. These can be prevented, most of them. Our statistics, unfortunately, is limited, but according to WHO, the rate of infection within our institutions is about 7.5%.
Dr. Saif Al-Abri, the Director General of the Diseases Surveillance and Control, Minister of Health, expressed that this workshop
is a major milestone for the infection prevention and control service in the Sultanate. This is going to be the cornerstone for all the activities which we are going to plan for with regard to the infection prevention and patient safety in the Sultanate. We are aiming that we'll introduce the leaders in the different institutions and the Minister of Health about their role as leaders for the implementation and practice of the infection prevention and control service.
Dr. Ziad Memish, the Senior Infectious Disease Consultant and Professor of the College of Medicine, Faisal University, Saudi Arabia, commended the outstanding step taken by the Minister of Health, and he said,
"The development of this code of conduct to raise the awareness about infection control is an outstanding step taken by the Ministry of Health leadership. Of course, infection control is a global concern. All countries across the globe, developed and developing, are concerned about the high rates of infectious disease and infection transmission within healthcare facilities. It causes increased morbidity, mortality, and also increased cost. On the GCC level, there is great collaboration between the GCC countries in standardizing policies and working together as teams to unify the process of applying infection control.
It is well known that any healthcare institutions failing to follow the best practices could seriously compromise the safety of patients and healthcare workers. Hence, good infection prevention is vital to ensure that people who use different services provided by healthcare providers in the Sultanate receives safe and effective care. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, 7 o'clock news bulletin, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The Minister of Commerce and Industry organized a press conference to unveil details of His Majesty's Cup for Best 5 Factories. It highlighted the evaluation, scientific and organizations criteria that have been introduced to the competition, in addition to focus on the Ministry's keenness to upgrade the competition. The Sultan's government seeks through HM Cup for Best 5 Factories to motivate the industrial sector to exert more efforts in a bid to enhance the production and quality. The press conference clarified that the period of submitting applications for participate in the competition starts from the current month and until November 2015. The competition comes every 2 years to motivate the industry sector to exert more efforts as well as improve the performance, in addition to find competitiveness among Omani companies and factories. On this regard, His Excellency Engineer Ahmed bin Hassan Adib, Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, had this to say.
This His Majesty's trophy for the best 5 industries this year mainly depend on the what they call it, the process of the industries that will have also an end result. This end result not only the of financial result, it will be also jobs, employee satisfaction, the work environment, how it relationship between this process and the results. So these are all indicators in the questionnaire that we are preparing now. The other thing, the ministry has been training our staff to be trained to know how to evaluate such an application, because we have also brought an expert from the international, some international organizations, and also we looked at similar awards, and we have taken some of the best, what we call it, some of the questions, and that can be put in our questionnaire for the industries.
First and second phases of 3 kilometers water line was launched in Sohar Industrial Estate. The project contributes to facilitate the works of industrial factories and companies for more production, as well as to increase the industrial activity in the estate. The project, which was launched by Majis Industrial Service, is one of the important projects that will develop Sohar Port Zone. Still to come in our news bulletin, the activities of Asail Festival were concluded in the Wilayat of Ja'lan Bani Bu Ali with a wide participation of horsemen from various governorates. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The participating delegations in the Omani Hajj mission continue exerting efforts to serve Omani pilgrims in Hajj season this year. The first batch of Omani Hajj mission headed to the sacred land to render facilitations to the Omani pilgrims. Iftar and Guidance delegation also organized lectures to the members of Oman Hajj mission by giving them instructions on the mechanism of dealing with Omani pilgrims and performing Hajj rituals. Members of Omani Scouts and Guides also exert great efforts to help Omani pilgrims through guiding them and providing food and health care for them. A clinic was provided with medicines to enable the Omani medication to deal with patients. Reviving Omani journeys through the Silk Route and ending at Canton Port in China, the Journey of Adventurers of Oman Bikers team has started. The distance of the trip is more than 14,000 kilometers and passing through a number of countries on motorbikes. The main aim of the trip is to promote the Salter's tourism, get acquainted with bikers in those countries and introduce the Salter's celebration coinciding with the 45th National Day, in addition to revive Oman traders' glories in traveling to China. Oman Riders team is considered as the first adventure team at Arab states level, conducting adventurous trips on motorcycles, aiming to record outstanding number added to the record of each adventure in global cycling network. The idea of the trip came after the success of the first adventure by Omani riders in 2013 on their trip to Europe. Global financial crisis continues to hit the GCC market. More details in the following report by Sayyida Tabinda Bukhari.
MSM 30 index closed today at 5.7 points, recording a decrease of minus 5.3 points, representing minus 0.9% compared with the last trading session. The value traded securities today reached Riyal 1.63 million with a decrease of 59.94% compared with the last trading session, which recorded 4.6 million Riyal Omani. The market capitalization increased by 0.12% against last trading day, reaching around 14.6 billion Riyal Omani. It is worth mentioning that the value of shares bought by non-Omani investors reached 234,000 Riyal Omani, recording 14.4%. The value of shares sold by non-Omani investors reached 148,000 Riyal Omani at a percentage of 9.10%. The net foreign investment on the market increased to 86,000 Riyal Omani by 5.3%. After a slight rate of hike, as expected, the global financial markets continue to decline. However, the GCC regional markets have seemed to be steady. In tune, Muscat securities market opened and closed on a slight decline, with steady trading volumes. Sayyida Tabinda Bukhari from Muscat Securities Market.
Enabling investors and entrepreneurs from commercial registry electronically in easy way topped the meeting, which is organized by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry with male and female entrepreneurs in the Governorate of North Baltina. The meeting clarified that the project of Invest Easy, which included 25 e-services to enabling investors to finish all transactions from any place. With the aim of rehabilitating human cadres to combat desert locust, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, in cooperation with Food and Agricultural Organization FAO and the Commission for Controlling the Desert Locust in the Central Regions, held a sub-regional training course in organizing and preparing campaigns of combating desert locust. The course is held at the Governorate of Dhofar to continue until the 20th of this month. The Sultanate is among 60 countries that are threatened by desert locust that cause great damages to vegetation and livestock. Within the aim to revive horse sport, traditional arts and enrich the domestic tourism, the activities of Asail Festival was concluded in the Wilayat of Ja'lan Bani Bu'ali. The festival in its 8th edition witnessed a wide participation of a number of horsemen from various governorates. This traditional event included many activities and shows where horse riders perform different physical skills while riding. Other singing performances were also conducted among a huge attendance by visitors and residents of the Wilaya. It also included poetic sessions on Oman and His Majesty. A number of citizens participated in traditional games activities in the Wilayat of Ibra in the Governorate of North Sharqiya. The events came to highlight memories of the past and teach the younger generation the Omani customs and traditions. The activities varied among family gatherings, religious practices, as well as games for children. The event also focused on the old architectural of Al-Minzafa village in addition to showcasing some crafts products. And now for the general forecast. Partly cloudy skies will prevail over the governorate of Dhofar with chances of intermittent drizzle and fog on the mountainous areas and cloud accumulation along the scattered rainfall accompanied by hail over the higher mountains and the nearby areas. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies and winds will be easterly to northeasterly light to moderate along the coast of the Sea of Oman, while it will be southeasterly to southerly light to moderate along the rest of the Sultanate. And seas along the coast of the Arabian Sea will be rough with a maximum wave height of 2.5 meters, and for the rest of the coast it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, in the main points once again. The Ministry of Transport and Communications announces that the biggest railway maintenance station in the Sultanate will be in the governorate of Al-Lahira. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry unveils details of His Majesty's Cup for Best 5 Factories. And the first and second phases of 3 kilometers water line is launched in Sohar Industrial Estate. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, good night.